Hi, I'm Joya and this is officially Joya. If you're new to my channel, I make videos about anti-stress, self-development, self-love, mindfulness, manifestation, happiness and gratitude. I'm really happy that you're watching, and today I have a video for you about energy healing. So I did an energetic healing a while ago and it was really an interesting experience. So I would like to talk to you about my experience. Maybe you get some inspiration from it. Maybe you would like to do a healing like that as well. Maybe you're thinking a healing like that is not for me at all. But let's get into it and talk about my experience. So I just want to read what is the definition of energy healing. Energy healing is a holistic practice that activates the body's subtle energy systems to remove blocks. By breaking through these energetic blocks, the body's inherent ability to heal itself is stimulated. So this is a lot to process, but basically I think what it means is that by working on energy levels, people who are able to get into these energy levels, get into your energy levels, can remove blocks that are yeah, so people who do these energetic healings can remove blocks that are there. So I was always interested in doing, well, not always. Recently I have gotten more interested in doing something like this. I heard about Reiki, I heard about energy healing, but I wasn't sure if it was for me and what it would exactly mean to do this, so I held off for a little bit. But then a friend of mine told me that her mom did these and that she would give some free healings in the month of October. So I told her that I was interested in receiving more information. So her mom sent me an email since she heard I was interested. And I held off for a bit more because I wanted to read what it was exactly about. But after reading the email, I still wasn't sure if it wasn't for me, so I thought about it a little bit more. But then recently in my life I have experienced some stress and I was busy with work so much that I couldn't really get out of my head. So I thought this would be a good time to do it. Still not knowing that much about it. It does just explained in the email how it works more broadly, but I didn't really know what exactly it would be like for me or what I would feel, and I also didn't really know other people who have done it. My friend's mom has done it to her sometimes, but we also didn't talk about that before I did my healing because I also wanted to go in with it with an open mind and not have too much prejudices already. So it's good to mention that my friend's mom, so the person who did the healing on me, did the energetic healing, she doesn't know me that well, so she didn't have a lot of information about me beforehand. I think I've seen her like 3 times in my life, so it wasn't like she had a lot of information on me already. So she explained to me that for a healing she doesn't have to actually see you physically, you don't have to be in the same room as her, and she lives very far away, so we decided to do the healing by calling. And I was immediately confused, like, how does this work? How can someone do a healing on me while just having a call? And even more so because she says she also doesn't have to see you on video. So we didn't do a video call, we just did a regular phone call, and that's how she did the healing. So what did she do when we had the healing? We discussed a date that we were gonna call and that we would do the healing. For me, this was after a very busy day at work. I was working from home that day. I was tired. I was working from 9 till like 6 or a bit longer, from 9 till like 6:30, and then the healing was supposed to be at 8. So I took some time to decompress a little bit, and before I knew it, it was time to start calling. So at that point I was still a bit tired, still a bit stressed from work, but at the same time I thought like, okay, this is actually a good state to do the healing in because I am in this state right now and this is exactly why I want to try it. So I called her on WhatsApp. She immediately picked up and then she asked me how I was feeling that day. I told her I was a bit stressed from work. I had a long and busy day. So she was like, okay, so you're ready for the healing? I was like, yeah, I'm ready for it. It comes at a good time. And then we were talking about if I had something that I wanted to do the healing on. So if there was something specific that I think I needed this healing for. And at first I didn't have that. So when I chatted to her before, I said like, is it necessary to have a specific point that you want to deal with? Because I don't don't really have something at the moment. But when we were actually calling, I thought like lately I have been a bit stressed, so that's a good one to do the healing on. So she said, yeah, if you're starting from feeling stressed, this is a really good starting point, and that she can work with that and that we can do something with it. I didn't explain to her why I'm stressed. I just said that it's a regular feeling of stress that I often have. And yeah, this is really the case.
Sometimes I'm stressed from work, sometimes I'm stressed because of other things, because of what I want to achieve in my life.
So it was just a general feeling of stress that I usually have, and at that moment this was also the case. So then she said, okay, now I'm gonna start preparing, and you may just lay down or just sit, whatever you please. And she explained to me that she will have to prepare a bit, and then she will start the healing, but that she won't speak a lot. When she sees something or finds something in my energy levels, then she will say something afterwards, and that I didn't have to respond to it, but I could if I wanted to, but it's just what she sees. So she is just talking and letting me know if she sees something. She started preparing. I read in the email that she also sometimes uses crystals, so I'm not sure what she was preparing since I couldn't see her, but she was preparing to get to that level to do the healing on me. So at this point I was like, what's gonna happen? I was just laying on the couch. I wanted to try to be as relaxed as possible, but at the same time I didn't do anything specific for this. I was just laying down. And she was just quiet. We were being on a call, and then after a while she said, I feel like other people are a bit too much in your energy and a bit too much blocking it, and that you need to live more from your own heart, and that you're not doing that much at the moment. And now I'm gonna open up that space a bit, the space around your chest, so there's a bit more space. And at this point I'm thinking, you're gonna open up the space around my chest? What does that exactly mean? Because I didn't read that much about it beforehand. I didn't know what she was doing, but I was still relaxed with it and just listening. And as soon as she said that I let other people, get a bit too much in my energy, and I'm not always thinking for myself, I felt like that was indeed the case. And then after a while, it was silent for a long time. And then after a while, she said again that she sees some stress in my life because I'm thinking too much about what other people think. So I have this division of thinking on one hand and knowing the actual truth that I'm a beautiful person, that I am good the way that I am, and that what I think and what I want to do in life is pretty clear for me, and that I know who I am and that I'm beautiful. But on the other hand, I have this idea of what other people might think of me, and I let that influence my life too much. And these are just things that I don't really think about mentally that much, or you don't really feel physically, but when someone says them, you think, yeah, that's indeed what I feel sometimes, or that's indeed what's holding me back, or what's in my underlying thoughts maybe, but not that consciously. So that was really interesting. She then went on, so it was quiet again, and I just laid there. And at this point I also started feeling some things in my body, and she had also said that because she's working with my energy, I might also feel something. So I can't really explain what this feeling exactly was, but it was just, I was feeling like some tension in my body, and like something was happening there while I was laying down. I wasn't feeling, it was not like I was feeling nothing. I was feeling something, but I can't completely explain this. And then after a while she told me, I also feel like your head is exploding from all of the thoughts that you have, and that you are thinking way too much about things that are at the moment irrelevant, but you're just having thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, and you keep thinking about things that you need to let go at the moment, and things that are not important right now. Again, this is something that I really struggle with. When she said it, I was thinking like, yeah, that is me. I was also a bit frustrated at that moment because I'm working really hard on meditating, on mindfulness, on trying to not have all of these stressful thoughts and trying to quiet down my mind a little bit. So to hear then that someone else can see in your energy that you are still having loads of thoughts and that you are still not really zen, that made me feel a bit bad, but it is true. I have to work on it more, and I have to realize that I shouldn't always stress about tomorrow, but just focus a bit more on today and let go a little bit more. So these are the main things that she mentioned. So she said that I focus too much on other people, I need to live more from my heart, and that I stress too much in my head, I need to let go more of thoughts. And then she also mentioned, again after a while, that I have a really strong heart energy, that it's really strong, and that's what she really found beautiful about this session, that as soon as she started making connection with my energy, her heart opened up, which according to her meant that I have a really strong heart energy, that she could really feel that. And to be honest, this made me quite emotional because I always try to make decisions from my heart. But at the same time, she said that I could do this way more and that I have to do something with work also that is really coming from my heart and not too much with my mind. And this is something that I struggle with sometimes because I'm thinking about, oh, I studied for this and this, so I have to do this. But then I'm thinking, I also want to be creative, so if I want to live from my heart, I should do more like this. So it actually made me quite emotional to hear that. So that was the last thing that she said, that my heart energy is so strong and that her heart really opened up when she made a connection with my energy. And then we basically ended the session. She asked if I had any more questions. And I was wondering how people after this session continued. Like, what did they do with the information? Like, how can you move on from there? She told me that it's possible, of course, to do another session later on, because that she didn't go as deep, because this was my first time doing a healing, and maybe I didn't know as much about energy levels, and that if she would go too much into it, I would maybe be like, oh, what is this woman saying right now? So I actually also appreciated that I could understand everything that she was saying, and I didn't know exactly what she was doing, but I just was knowing that she was working on my energy, working with my energy, and noticing a few things. So everything at this point to me was very clear. But that it's also important to now take everything in that she said, think about it, and work a bit on that myself, and then maybe in the future, if I want to do another healing, I could do that. So how did I feel afterwards? Because she also told me, like, maybe you feel relaxed right now because of what happened. And to be honest, I didn't feel relaxed. I felt a little bit relieved. I felt like something had happened and something had gone from me, but I also felt very tired. I felt drained. I felt like this was a lot of information. I didn't expect it to go so deep. I thought maybe she would say to me, like, I see some stress, I see some tension, but I didn't expect her to talk about my heart, to talk about how I sometimes let other people influence my thoughts a bit too much and my ideas and what I want to do with my life. And I also didn't expect things that I thought that I was already really working on to still be blocking me. So it was quite emotional for me actually, and I felt drained afterwards. The days afterwards I felt sick. I really didn't feel good. I felt like I had the flu, and then I read online that it is possible to have feelings like this after a healing because maybe you're getting out some toxic things that you were doing, or it's possible that physical illnesses that you already have, like pain in your muscles or a headache or stuff like that, may become stronger because you actually need to realize that you need to change things in your life. So that also is possible to happen after a healing. So maybe it was because of that. And now I feel like I've really thought about these things. I will work on them, but also that they need time because I'm actually always thinking about where do I want to go, what am I doing, and I'm gonna just let it sink in a bit more. The healing is now 2 weeks ago. I just want to focus a bit more on living from my heart. Like she said, I think I should. I want to travel way more and not just thinking about short-term vacations, but really being somewhere for a long period of time. So I'm thinking about these things and how I can live more from my heart and less from my mind, and how I can also incorporate doing something for work with my heart, like making these videos, for example. So there's a lot of things to think about, but this was my experience with my first healing, my first energy healing. And I was really surprised last lastly, about how someone can work with my energy by just hearing me on the phone and not even talking, but just feeling my energy, somehow working with my energy, letting me feel things in my body and explaining some deep things that are happening in my head and heart. I was really surprised by this. I'm always open to these kinds of things, but still, I didn't expect this to happen. And also someone else that I know afterwards, after me, also did the healing, and to her she said completely different things. So it's not like this is some general thing that she's saying to everybody. So I was really surprised with how well she could feel my energy. So overall, it was a really positive experience. I did feel a bit bad afterwards, but it really got me thinking about my life and about things. So I hope you have gotten some more information from this, and maybe you want to read more about it. I know I certainly want to do that as well. So I think with that, I'm gonna end this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification button, and also like this video. And then I will see you guys next time.